Hey everyone, we have big news today because what you're looking at right now is an official Department of Justice press release. It is from the Southern District of New York. It is titled Statement of Manhattan U.S. Attorney on the Death of Defendant Jeffrey Epstein. And there is just one massive and undeniable problem with this document. Look at the date. It is dated Friday, August 9, 2019. Jeffrey Epstein didn't die on August 9th. He was alive on the August 9th. He was sitting in his cell talking to his lawyers, supposedly upbeat. He wasn't found dead until the morning of August 10th. So, I have a very simple question for Bill Barr. I have a very simple question for Donald Trump's Justice Department. Why did you have a press release announcing Jeffrey Epstein's death ready to go on Friday night while he was still breathing? Let's look at the text on the document because the devil is in the details, and the details here are terrifying. The statement reads, earlier this morning, the Manhattan Correctional Center confirmed that Jeffrey Epstein had been found unresponsive in his cell and pronounced dead shortly thereafter. Now, normally a press release like this written after the event happens, that's how time works, right? Something happens, you write about it, you date it, you release it. But this document is dated Friday, August 9. So the graphic timeline is this. August 9, 7:49 p.m. Epstein is escorted back to his cell alive. August 9, 10:30 p.m. Guards allegedly failed to check on him. He is alive. August 10, 6:30 a.m. Epstein is found dead. If this document was written and dated on August 9, as the header says, then the Department of Justice was drafting a statement about his death while he was sleeping in his bunk. The implications are horrifying. In a best case scenario, the absolute best case scenario for them, this is the most incompetent administrative error in DOJ history. They prepared a contingency statement for his death. Why did they know he was going to die? But the worst case scenario, is that this wasn't the contingency. It was a schedule. Remember, this was Geoffrey Berman's office. This was Bill Barr's DOJ. These are the people who told us nothing to see here. These are the people who rushed to rule it's a suicide before the body was even called. And now we found out they had the press release locked and loaded a day early. The internet is going crazy over this for a reason. You don't accidentally date a document for the day before surprise event unless you know the surprise is coming, right? You don't write a eulogy for a man who's still walking around unless he won't be walking around much longer. But if you think the date is bad, wait until you hear what else just dropped. Because the August 9 document isn't the only piece of evidence destroying the official story today. For years we were told nobody entered the tier, nobody spoke him, he was alone. That was a lie for sure. Now, new reports released this week reveal the investigators reviewing the surveillance footage from the night of August 9, saw something they couldn't explain. At roughly 10:39 p.m. of August 9, an identified figure was seen on camera moving towards Epstein's cell.
Skeptical about the report's conclusion and thought that the video could be showing an inmate walking up the stairs. Authorities say this was the last time anyone approached his cell block until his body was discovered the next morning. Again, while the video does not contradict that, experts who viewed the video say the limited field of view makes it impossible to definitively conclude that no one used those stairs in that time period. Beyond this, there are other issues our investigation and others have uncovered. At 11:21 p.m. and 34 seconds, a cursor appears briefly on screen, indicating the video may have been recorded with a camera or a screen recording and was not an export of the RAW file. The FBI said it had seized the prison's hard drive.
The FBI logs describe it as a figure in orange clothing. Maybe an inmate, maybe a guard in jumpsuit, but definitely someone. This destroys the he was alone narrative. So let's put these two pieces of the puzzle together. On Friday, August 9, the DOJ drafts a press release saying Epstein is dead. On the night of Friday, August 9, a mystery figure enters his cell block. On the morning of Saturday, August 10, he is dead. Do you believe in coincidences? Because I don't. Not when it involves the most connected pedophile in the world. Not when it involves the Department of Justice run by Bill Barr. If someone entered that cell, the entire suicide theory collapses. You can't hang yourself with paper thin bed sheets from a bunk bed that isn't tall enough to suspend you while someone else is in the room watching, right? Unless that someone else wasn't there to stop you, unless they were there to help you, or worse. And the fact that DOJ had press release ready to go suggests that they knew exactly what the outcome of that night was going to be. We have to talk about who was in charge. This didn't happen under Joe Biden. This happened under Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the man who flew on Epstein's plane 7 times, the man who wished Ghislaine Maxwell well, the man whose Attorney General Bill Barr personally intervened to fire the very U.S. Attorney Geoffrey Berman, who signed his document. Bill Barr's father hired Jeffrey Epstein to teach at the Dalton School without a college degree. The connections run deep. When Epstein died, Bill Barr was the one who came out and said there were serious irregularities at the jail. He acted shocked, he acted angry, if you remember. But if his own department was writing to death announcement on Friday, his shock was a performance for sure. They want you to move on, they want you to think it's old news, but this document proves that the timeline we were sold is a lie. Why did they need him dead? We know why, but I can't say too much because you know why. He was about to name some names. He was about to cut a deal, and a lot of powerful people, people who were in the White House at the very moment, could not afford for Jeffrey Epstein to take the stand, right? So he didn't take the stand. He took a permanent vacation, and the DOJ had the paperwork ready before he even checked out. We need answers. We need Congress to subpone the metadata of this file. We need to know exactly what time this document was created and who created it. I need you to share this video so the algorithm tries to suppress the Epstein content. I need you to smash that like button and share this link everywhere. And go to the comments. And I want you to type your thoughts, what do you think about it. Thank you.